Colin Murray. This is my partner in crime, Andrew Marshall, and we're here for NOLABJJ Technique of the Week. This week we're going to be looking at basic back control. When I get someone's back, the first thing I always like to look for is to get my hooks in right here, right? I usually don't want them really deep like this because some people will be able to ankle lock you right here. Right, so we like to keep them real shallow, right up against his inner thighs right here. The next thing I look for is my seatbelt. I want one arm underneath, one arm over. If I have two arms underneath right here, Andy can escape by coming up. And if I have two arms over, Andy can escape by going down. So I want to have one over, one under to make sure I keep them locked in, nice, tight, and secure. All right? I also want to make sure I never cross my feet like this. Whenever I cross my feet, Andy can ankle lock me by bringing the foot over and extending his hips. This is way worse than even having your feet extended real deep. So make sure these stay apart right here. So the next thing I want to look for is my head position. If my head's too far out, then when I go to choke Andy, I'm not going to have a very good angle. The same thing happens if my head's too low right here. So I like to make sure my chin is perched right on top of the shoulder like this. Now I know I have a real good angle to choke him at, right? It's going to be real difficult for me to choke Andy from this position, so I'm usually going to pick a side. I want to go to the side that my choking arm is on. If I go to the side my choking arm is on, Andy tries to escape by bringing his shoulder blades to the mat out this way. If I have my choking arm down on that side, when he goes to escape that direction, he tightens a choke on himself. If I had it the other way, and he tries to bring his shoulder blade to that side, he unwinds the choke. So I like to make sure my choking arm is the one on the bottom. Now, what really keeps Andy in this position are my knees. I want to pinch my knees really tight. If my knees are nice and loose, Andy can shoulder blade out, and there's really nothing stopping me. So I keep my knees pinched really tight. Then when Andy tries to move, he's really glued to me. I can even take this top hook out, and I can use it to keep control of his leg over here. I have to have this bottom hook in though. This bottom hook is what's keeping his hips glued to mine. If this comes out, he can shoulder blade right on top, and there's no keeping him in. So I need to have this bottom hook. Otherwise, I just have to have my knees pinched, and he's locked in tight, right? The last thing I want to look at is if Andy starts to get a really good escape on me. From here, it's going to be really hard to try and pull him back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch sides. This is what makes back control really solid, is being able to be mobile. So to switch sides, I want to make sure I have this hook in, because this hook is going to become my bottom hook, because I'm going to go to that side. I'm going to take this hook out and plant it on the mat and pinch this knee tight. This knee is going to make a wall so that Andy can't hop over. If it's down here and being lazy, he can hop off and I lose my back control. So I want to make sure when I put this foot down, my knee stays tight. Then I'm going to shuffle my hips underneath Andy, just like this. And then I have back control on the other side. He starts escaping over to that side. This hook comes in, this one comes out and makes my wall. I shuffle underneath, and I have back control on this side. That was our technique of the week. I'm Colin Murray. This is Andrew Marshall for NOLABJJ. See y'all next week.